It is one of the most mystical and exotic places on Earth. On the edge of the Himalayan mountains, in a remote corner of northern India. I traveled here from half a world away to visit the earthly home of a reincarnated Buddha. His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama was given this out-of-the-way village called Dharamsala for his government in exile after the Chinese occupied his homeland of Tibet 46 years ago. As I walked through the dusty back streets, I found burgundy-clad Tibetan monks everywhere. Fluttering prayer flags are thought to spread harmony and good fortune through the wind. Pilgrims spin wheels filled with prayers, hoping they will be heard. This place is now the spiritual center of Tibetan Buddhism, one of the world's most ancient religious cultures.
Welcome.
Thank you, Your Holiness. Thank you for allowing us to visit with you. The Dalai Lama is a charming and charismatic leader. Very cold. I wonder how you stay with an infectious giggle. He is said to be the 14th reincarnation of what is called the heavenly deity of compassion and wisdom. About 14 million Buddhists believe the Dalai Lama is a living God. We refer to you with deep respect as Your Holiness. Are you a god?
No.
No?
Today, very day, my eye little irritation. So if I'm God, that should not happen.
You could say, let that go away. If the Dalai Lama is not a god, what is he then, a teacher?
A teacher.
Teacher.
I think teacher.
Every year, the Dalai Lama, who is now 70, presides over 2 weeks of teachings on Buddhism. Hundreds of pilgrims, listening to translations in several languages, join throngs of Tibetan monks for intensive all-day sessions. The Dalai Lama is the world's foremost scholar in his very complex faith. Buddhists do not believe in God, at least not in the way Christians do, but they do believe some kind of heaven exists. Where is heaven?
Buddhist scripture described 10 directions.
10 directions.
10 directions. East, south, and west, north, and above, and below.
Ancient Tibetan texts describe 6 uniquely nightmarish kinds of hell and 6 distinct levels of heaven. Your Holiness, describe the Buddhist vision of heaven.
Very happy, very pleasant, is best place to further development of the spiritual practice.
And that is where Christians and Buddhists disagree.
For Buddhist, final goal is not just to reach there, but become Buddha, oneself become Buddha.
So heaven is not a place of permanence. It is sort of a waiting place, not the end in itself.
Yes, not the end.
Buddhists believe that after we die, we are born again and again, living many different lifetimes. The better you behave on earth, the better your next life will be.
Right.
And the worse you behave on earth, the worse.
If you behave well, remain compassionate person, then your future destination is heaven. If you do negative thing, harm on other, create pains on other,
yes,
then the future
is hell.
Hell.
And in Buddhism, if you do good things, compassionate things, you will be reborn to have a happier life.
That's right.
In your rebirth, do you come back as a human being?
Oh, yes.
Well, if you are, let's say, a bad person, you could come back as an animal?
If someone do very badly, or kill, or steal, could be born, even animal body.
And Buddhists believe that even animals can improve their chances of becoming human again. So if you're a very good dog, you have a way of getting out of this so-called hell of being an
That's
animal
right.
and moving to
Right.
the next step.
That's right.
I know a lot of dogs that we have as pets who are leading very good lives, so they may come back.
So
It's something
I think that you already experienced among the dogs. You see, some are very comparatively more warm-hearted, isn't it?
Yes.
Some dogs always fighting like that. So those nicer dogs, you see, their future is much brighter.
Does everyone get reborn?
Well, from Buddhist viewpoint, yes.
The 14th God King of Tibet was born in a cowshed on a Tibetan farm soon after the previous Dalai Lama died. He was discovered by a search party of monks, and after passing a battery of tests, 3-year-old Tenzin Gyatso was proclaimed to be the reincarnated Dalai Lama. Tenzin and his family moved to the Patala Palace in Lhasa, Tibet's capital city. Your Holiness, you are said to be the living reincarnation of the 13th Dalai Lama. When you were a baby, you were able to point to certain objects of the 13th Dalai Lama.
That's correct.
That's one of the reasons that people felt you were the
That's
Dalai
right.
Lama. So that did come from some prior memory.
When I was young, you see, it seems there are quite clear sort of memory about past life. But now, no longer there.
So what is the purpose of reincarnation? Why not just stay in heaven? Buddhists believe that the ultimate goal is nirvana or enlightenment, a state of all-knowing contentment.
So the highest nirvana, that's Buddhahood. So completely eliminated all the negative emotions. That automatically brings enlightenment.
Are you enlightened, Your Holiness?
No. I do not know what will happen tonight. I don't know. and my memory, what details of the event, what happened yesterday, some already forget.
I see. If you were enlightened, you would remember everything?
Oh, yes.
So you haven't reached that stage yet,
Oh,
of
yes.
perfection.
No. And I always consider myself as another human being. Nothing special, nothing more.
One of the great beings, perhaps ever to walk on this planet, His Holiness the Dalai Lama.
Enlightened or not, the Dalai Lama is an extraordinary man. Before him, no Dalai Lama had ventured out of Tibet. But this Dalai Lama has traveled extensively, becoming a world-famous symbol of nonviolent response to aggression. In 2003, 65,000 people packed into New York Central Park to hear his message of compassion.
Human being has the same sort of potential, no differences, whether rich or poor.
You had said that the purpose of life is to be happy. How does one accomplish that?
I think warm-heartedness.
Warm-heartedness. And that is a key to happiness?
That's it. Compassion gives you inner strength, more self-confidence. That really changed your attitude.
Looking at the world today, are we closer to heaven or to hell?
Closer to heaven, I feel.
When our interview is over, the Dalai Lama's own warm-heartedness stayed with me. So I did something I rarely do with a world leader. May I ask you something?
Yes?
Is it possible to kiss you on the cheek?
Okay. These touches here, but close.
Then he showed me how they kiss in New Zealand.